Hi there, Justin from Brickright here again. Welcome to the van vlog, the podcast for today. Yeah, just wanted to touch base with you all really. I haven't put a video out there for a couple of weeks. We've been on holiday with the family. I've got 4 kids. We all went away to Cyprus, stayed in a villa together for 2 weeks. Absolutely fantastic. You were going to come with us, but I decided not to, so just wanted to spend some quality time. And I think it's you've got to put tools down and calm down and just shut everything off from time to time. And yeah, it was really good for me to do that. So where are we at the moment in work? We're doing a project down in Rubina, in Cardiff, an ongoing project. I haven't put any videos out about it yet, but that's coming, so you can catch up with us and look into that. But big news is Jay decided to hand his notice in. So we came back on the Thursday, I think it was, which was the 6th of July. So we went off, paid him his holiday pay, and on the 7th I had an email just to say that, quite a short email to say that he was resigning. And that was the end of that. So quite a shock, really. Probably come to a shock to you guys that have been following the channel out there as well, because I think we all, between myself, Fraser and Jay, got on really, really well as a team. He seemed to slot in really well and become part of the furniture and become part of the family. He was good for a laugh, and he was hard working when we wanted him to be, and he was going in the right direction. And then the bombshell. So I'm not going to say too much about it because it's unfair to come on here and say anything in depth about it, because some things, as I say, need to be left personal between ourselves and Jay. But he was doing well. We had a few chats along the way about certain little bits and pieces, and in that chat process, I think he's taken something a little bit too close to his heart. But he feels like he had to go, and that's his decision. We respect it. We wish him well, and like I say, it's a shame that he's gone. But it's well, what can I say? It's depressed me a little bit, maybe, if that's the right word. Yeah, taking me back a little bit. So when you think about it, then when you guys are taking on people and you invest in these people, and I'm not saying this just about Jay, anybody you take on, let's talk about staff in general. Then you take these people on on the books or whatever. What do you do if you're an employer out there? Do you take them on the books? Do you take them on self-employed? Do you take them on a couple of days a week? If you're somebody that's looking for a job to come into the industry, what do you expect? Do you expect full-time employment or whatever? So I take the lads on full-time. I give them a 3-month trial. If they pass that, they come in. We put them straight onto the books, full-time employment. So they get their sick pay, they get their holiday pay, paid at Christmas, paid at summer. I pay them full holiday pay for bank holidays for their entitlement, and yeah, they get paid on a weekly basis. So you, as a minimum, for a 21-year-old, you're chucking 20 grand at somebody to employ them for the full year. So that's what the investment is. Would it be better in some scenarios to take them on subcontract, as subcontractors? So if you're in a period of work where you might think, well, there's a week's work here, I got the lads on full time, I don't really want to lay them off, it's unfair to them. So you pay them to come in for 3 or 4 days of that week, when okay, they are doing a bit, but they're not doing much. They might be going back and forth to the van or whatever. So in that respect, you lose out because you're paying them, but in another way, you're winning because you've got them there full time and they're your employees. So I'd be interested for you to leave them in the comment section below as to what you do if you're a similar business owner to me, because my next move now, I'm a little bit stuck. I have got a son, another son, Fraser's brother, called Dayton. He's in the house, and he's not got a job at the moment, so I've kind of offered him to come in as like a part-time and see how he gets on with it. He's worked with us before, but he said he didn't like it. Now he's willing to give it another go just to earn a couple of quid over the summer, so we'll see how that goes. But moving forward, if Dayton wants the job full-time, great. If he doesn't, what would you recommend? Do I take somebody on, like I say, part-time? Do I take him on casual? Do I take him on through an agency? Do I take him on full-time? Be interesting to see, what everybody else thinks about it out there. I have spoken to a couple of lads, and they've said take them on subcontractors, and just, when you need them, you need them. When you don't need them, you don't need them. Chuck them a couple of quid extra for their holiday pay. They can claim a load of tax back, which pays their holiday pay anyway. So, don't know. What would you say? Moving on from that, I'm looking at the market now with what's happening with the mortgage rates, and this 6% mortgage rate that's happening. Most people, if they want an extension or they want some landscaping work done, some big work done, maybe they would remortgage. So I get the feeling that the phone calls are starting to reduce a little bit. We've been through this before many times. So I've just got that little feeling that it's just within the last month or two started to go down a little bit in terms of how many phone calls and interest we're having. And also, I've been pricing a few jobs up, and we haven't been getting them either. So I think if anybody's got savings, I think the government have put them in a position where they're scared to spend, because they don't know how much their mortgage is going up, or their gas or electric is going up. So they're probably thinking, we'll hang on to the savings for a minute, because we don't know how it's going to affect our standard of living. Do we need to dip into our savings at some point to pay the mortgage? How high is it going to go? So there's that fear factor. There's also a fear factor for people not wanting to remortgage to pay for their projects now. So, and then what I find is, what happens then, what I found over the years is, a lot of the boys get made, the housing sector or the commercial sector, then that goes down there. They put a stop on building houses, they put a stop on building these commercial buildings and stuff, and a lot of the trades come off site. They just drive around in a Ford Focus or a cheap little van or something, a little Citroen van or something, and they want to work for a load of builders, subcontracting, or they come into the landscaping, or they come in as bricklayers, and you see them building walls on the side. That then impacts us, because we're in the private market full-time, 100%, don't do site work or commercials. So you get a flood then of workers all battling to do the same job. All of a sudden, you're on £200, whatever you charge a day, £300, whatever you charge, £150, whatever it is, whatever you are in the country. All of a sudden, you got people, you might say, well, look, if you want me, I'm qualified tradesman, we've been doing it for donkey's years, I'm £300 a day. It's going to take 3 days, blah 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 blah. 6 months ago, people go, yep, no problem, when can you start? All of a sudden now, are people going to start saying, well, I've had a price for 250 quid a day? Does that price then start to come down because there's a lot of people battling for the same work? I've had that before, so that could be on the card. So we could be in for a little bit of a rocky road coming along now into this year and into the next couple of years. So watch this space. I just get that kind of spider sense, and I get that feeling that that could well happen. I suppose with us being an established business, we're lucky in that respect that people know us and trust us and want us to do their work. So I got no guarantees of that. Hopefully that carries on. You never know. You could be the next one to go bust. So you've got to stay on your toes. I suppose apart from that, the diary was a year ahead. Now we're kind of 7 months ahead, so that's a kind of, that's painting a picture then as to what I'm saying. The bookings are starting to narrow down a little bit. So yeah, I suppose I just wanted to touch base with you. There are more videos coming, and doing this job, I think, it's a roller coaster, isn't it? For those of us who are stupid enough to do it, it's a roller coaster ride of death. What goes up must come down, and this journey of being a builder, landscaper, bricklayer, plasterer, whatever it may be, self-employed, is definitely a roller coaster ride, because you're up and down, and you don't know when the up bits are going to come, and you don't know when the down bits are going to come, and you just try and mop them up and go along with it the best you possibly can. And I think that's all you can really do. But yeah, I think a couple of difficult years are ahead of us now, where we've had years of prosperity, and you've got to take the rough with the smooth, and try and formulate a plan in your business to try and accommodate it, and recognize that it's coming, and do everything you possibly can to try and keep yourself afloat, and keep yourself going. I suppose if you're one of the ones that's honest and one of the ones that wants to do a good job, and you've got a name out there that represents those things, then you'd like to say that in recession or in times of hardship, the people still recognise you for that, and they still want a good job, and hopefully that'll be enough to see you through. But we don't know what's around the next corner, so you can't think too much doom and gloom. You just got to keep smiling and keep getting on with it. So yeah, leave them in the comments below if your business has been, you started to see things, you've started to see that little change in the pattern of what has been. Leave them in the comments below. Be interesting to see throughout the wider community in the UK as to what you guys are experiencing out there in your individual areas. Let me know where you're from as well. When you comment, just put them in the comments as to what area you're living in, because I know different areas may be different to others, and different areas, you know, may suffer and others may not. So it'd be good to know which area you live in as well, so add that to the comments below. So yeah, I mean, been in this position many times before, where you've got employees coming in and employees going. I mean, I think overall, as far as employees are concerned, you do your best as an employer. You try to be as fair as you absolutely possibly can to be an employer. I try to be more like a mate than I do an employer, and then if I have to be boss, I be boss. But other than that, I'm just you know, easy going, you know, and that's the way I run my ship, and that's the way I've had success and managed to communicate and work with people on that level for many years. But it's a really difficult one, because you hear this old adage of, oh, these young lads these days, they don't want to do it and blah 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 blah. And I think, yeah, I think that is a lot of the case. I think the young lads do, a lot of them have an easier life than what we did. I mean, my apprenticeship, I was bullied terrible in my apprenticeship. We used to get bloody, you know, bombarded with shit on a daily basis. But it was like a rites of passage back then in the late 80s, early 90s. It was like a rites of passage. You put up with all the shit, you got through your apprenticeship, and then the next apprentice, love him, he had all the crap then, and you were left alone. But that's kind of gone a little bit now. You know, you just have a bit of friendly banter, and that's about it. So are the kids soft these days? Leave that in the comments below. Are the boys, the youngsters coming in soft? In my experience, I've had one or two, yeah, that do fit that bill. But you know what? I've had a lot in South Wales that have come from like learning centres and these Welsh development centres, where they have deprived youngsters or kids from a hard background, whether it be abuse or whether it be drug related with their parents or whatever. And they've come in over the years, and I've had them, and you know what? I've had some brilliant fantastic lads that have managed to see the bigger picture, turn a corner or whatever, and put things into perspective themselves, and have the maturity to become decent people, and, you know, become reliable, good, hard-working young boys into young men. And I've seen them mature onto that. I've seen them have families and grow, and you know, so these people, these youngsters who want it, they are out there. But I think it's just a matter of finding them and getting them in, and keeping hold of them, looking after them. And you know, Jay did fit that bill. For whatever reason, something's gone a bit pear-shaped, and it kind of is what it is. So there we are. I just thought I'd catch up with you. More videos to come. Yeah, just wanted to add as well that if anybody wants to come on and join me in the van inside Selwyn on the podcast to talk about, you know, anything life related or anything related in particular to what we do on site, if you're a customer, or you're somebody that works in the industry, and you want to get something off your chest, and you want to come on and you want to share it with myself, and you know, we'll put it onto YouTube obviously, then give me a ring, because yeah, it'd be nice to have somebody sat alongside me with some discussions to work to. So yeah, if you want to contact me with that, just get onto the website, brickright.co.uk, all the numbers, emails and everything on there. Get in touch, and yeah, as long as it's something that's clean and sensible you want to talk about, I'd be happy to meet you, and happy to chat about it here in Selwyn. So any of you want to do that, let me know. Hope the weather changes for all of us, because it's absolutely crap out there at the moment. Come back from Cyprus, 30 degrees. Come back into wearing my winter clothes pretty much again. And there's a magpie out there at the moment, so you ain't giving me any bad luck, pal. See you on the next one. Cheers. Take care. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep smiling. Cheers.